Earthrise had a very different set of weaponizers. So first, Siege had ones related to the Titans. Earthrise had modulators, the Micromaster bases. And now Kingdom has fossilizers. Well, Earthrise had one more that was supposed to go with the Scorponok figure. And we'll be looking at him today. Today we'll be looking at Earthrise Fasttrack.
And here we have Fasttrack in his vehicle mode, and this is a weird looking vehicle mode. I mean, when I heard that the Fasttrack figure was coming out, I was honestly very excited. And not because I'm a Scorponok fan or anything like that, it's because I'm a fan of weaponizers, as you all know. I gush over the figures every time I review them. And this figure made it on my top 10 list of the year, so he has to be good, right? Well, let's go over the vehicle mode's qualities. He can roll rather well, and looks very interesting. Now, if I had to rank him with the Siege ones, because those ones are actual vehicles, he's not the best. I mean, I definitely think Brunt looks better, and then this figure would go between 6-gun and Cog, or somewhere around that. I'll show my list in the edited version of this video, but yeah, this figure looks very nice. He does have little Siege blast effects where the guns would be, but that's kind of like goes with any of the modes. And a lot of the promotional art does show the storage of the knife being right here, but I mainly like keeping it on the back for no reason. This figure does have an extra thing. If you have the Titan class Scorponok figure, you can have little Lord Zarek sit riding this little go-kart man, and it looks fine, I guess. I mean, I would have preferred if it did something like the chest opening and he could stand there like this, but it's fine. That doesn't really matter. It's not really a big deal to me. And it does have little Titans Return ports on him right there, because most of the Titans Return figures had ports all over them, and this just adds more to it. Now, the final quality of this figure is one that I honestly do not like, and they could have I would have much preferred if they didn't have this. That being his base mode. Now, by base mode, you gotta tear him apart. And then how I do it is I push down on the little joint right here, this part, and you hinge that out, and then you put it back together. And I'm not really gonna like struggle with this, because this is like lining these two parts up is like the most annoying part, and this is what you get from that. Just like a docking bay, similar to actually Earthrise Hoist. And like Earthrise Hoist, I felt that was unnecessary, and I still believe this is unnecessary. Like, I definitely think maybe this could have actually done the chair feature like I mentioned, or it could have been something different. I don't think this is needed, and this is kind of whack in my opinion. I get that the whole Earthrise gimmick was base modes, but did we need this? Not really. So I'm going to put this back. Actually, let's skip that. Let's go to the figure's weapon mode, since this guy is a part of the combat system. So let's go to his first battle mode, and he will be going on Siege Hound, because that's who I use all the figures with. And here we have the weapon mode, and honestly, this is nothing too special. I mean, we definitely saw a very similar vehicle mode with Brunt and Paleotrex, and this just adds to let's just make the legs longer and make it like claw weapons or guns. So this doesn't really matter too much to me. I definitely feel that this is alright, and not really needed too much. it's alright. This isn't really the selling point of this guy. He does have another alternate mode. Like configuration mode that is meant to go with the Scorponok and upcoming Black Xeric figure. Ooh, that's gonna be cool. But the Black Xeric version is meant for the Selects Gold Orochi, which I do have and will be in the size comparisons. But that's about it for this mode. Let's actually go to that mode for Scorponok, and yeah. And here we have Fasttrack in his spear mode. And this is alright. I mean, definitely not the highlight of this figure, as I mentioned. Like, I feel like no weaponizer figure is their weapon modes. But I gotta say, this pulls the job off fine. I definitely like the circular things that are on here. And the orange is nicely laid out of the whole spear. I definitely think Gold Orochi looks so much better in the spear mode and makes more sense, but this figure does pull it off. Now, here he is in the hands of Scorponok, and looks alright. Now that we're done with all these alternate modes, let's go to the main reason I wanted to review this figure, that being the robot mode. And let's go through one more transformation. And here we have Fasttrack in his robot mode. And I forgot to mention that when in the spear mode, you don't use every part. And that's very annoying. I do not like that. I definitely think if you use a weapon mode, you gotta use all the parts. And the fact that the whole chest isn't even used, that's just dumb, in my opinion. But we're not talking about the spear mode anymore. We're talking about the robot mode. And very nice robot mode indeed. Now, and initially, I thought this guy looked a bit too rounded. I definitely thought that the original Fasttrack design, especially with artwork, was much more pointed and like angled, and that's mainly because of his fat chest and his stupid face. But I definitely feel that this figure is alright when it comes to that in person. I definitely would have preferred a smaller visor thing. I would have preferred like a smaller face. Would have preferred a smaller chest, but that's because of that stupid gimmick. But I definitely really enjoy this figure a lot. Now, this figure does come with some accessories, that being his hands. He does actually have hands, that being here. So he does come with 2 orange guns and his knife, which I actually do really like the knife. I wish figures actually came with more knives, because I feel like that's just a interesting accessory. It's kind of like he's like some kind of street thug or something like that. And if you want him to have his hands, you can put the gun accessories up here, which personally I think that's heresy for this figure to have the guns up there. But then if you do that, then you have nowhere for the knife, which kind of sucks, but I guess you pick your poison, you know? So for me, I just put the knife on the shoulder right here, and then you got Fasttrack fully armed up. And like I mentioned, a great design. I definitely like the look of this figure. He's definitely... Is he better than Brunt? No. Is he better than Palotrex? No. But is he better than Six Gun, Cog, and most of the modulators? Yeah. I mean, I haven't looked at Ractonite yet, and that's actually the next review, but we'll see how he compares to another weaponizer. And this guy is definitely very good. Proposability, he can look all the way around. He can't T-pose at all. He does have a swivel here, elbow, a swivel at the elbow. He has a full rotation at the waist. He can do the splits. He can kick forward, has a knee, and of course, the War for Cybertron pivot. And like most of the other ones, he is great at it. And yeah, that's about it for this figure. While not being some masterpiece looking figure, he does have a place in my heart, which I will explain more in the final thoughts. So let's go to the size comparisons and be done with this figure. For size comparisons, here we have Fasttrack with Iron Tread, Blitzwing, Sound Barrier, Paleotrex, Dinobot, and Galaxy Upgrade Optimus Prime. And let's throw in his Earthrise modulator buddies, Iron Tread, and Airwave. So overall, why was this figure on my top 10 list? Well, it's because I just like him. I mean, this figure doesn't, like I mentioned, doesn't need to be some kind of marvel of engineering to be on my top 10 list. It just needs to be a fun figure. And like I mentioned, I enjoy weaponizers, modulators, I enjoy all fossilizers, I enjoy them. And I hope they continue in the future. And I hope even if third-party companies want to capitalize on some unnamed characters, you know, then they could do that. But do I recommend this figure? I say yeah. I mean, he's just a simple guy that you could use as a generic, or he could be an army trooper, or he could be a single character. But he looks great with Scorponok, great with your headmasters, great in general. I do recommend this figure. He might not be for everyone, but he is for me. And if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye, guys.